I'm not going to commentate, but seems like there's a bit of sandbagging going on here. So faster than I might do. So, since the stream seems to be working this time, let's try and find someone about to start a lap. He's not. He's on a lap. Okay, so we're about to watch a lap on mediums on board of H-Third. Coming into turn 1, might shift down to 6th, he has. Oh, that might be invalidated. He's going to be braking at about 100 for this turn. Down to 2nd to get the car rotated, back on the throttle. Small lift through there. Should really be flat out. It's a long straight. It's important to spot your braking zone perfectly for this hairpin. He's going to be braking just before the 100, I'd imagine. He's broken a bit late there, not going to lie. This has been quite a messy lap. Let's go on board with someone else. Let's go on board with Adidas tracksuit, also on mediums, and he's having trouble even before the lap has started by the seams of things. Purple in sector 3. Purple? Yes. No. Anyway, as you see, he took 6th through turn 1, that looks a bit dodgy. He's going to be braking at the 100, as does everyone. Choosing to leave it in 3rd. Get some nice traction out of there. Opens DRS, it's going to be flat out. He seems to only be on high ERS at the moment, that's interesting. He's going to brake at the 100, just before the 100 metre board, down to 1st, short shift into 2nd, eventually. Flat out right hander. This next corner tends to be a tricky one to get the car rotated for, but I'm sure Adidas won't have issues with that. This will be a flat out right hander, or would be on a softer compounded tyre. This corner is also important to nail, and he's done it pretty well there. Taken a bit of a later apex, and he's taken a wide line through there. Interesting choice. Really struggling to get on the throttle through there. And this has been quite a messy last sector from Adidas tracksuit. We'll have to see what the time is going to be. It's not going to be great. Yeah, it's only a 14.5. Maybe he'll go for it a lot more on this lap. If his lap wasn't invalidated, that is. Did you see VSR Lassie getting out of the way there? Marion across the line, what's he going to be doing? Oh, he's on an out lap. It's amazing when the game tells you that. He's on hyper softs, ultra softs on blind, so he's going to be pushing very hard on this lap. Obviously leaving it in 3rd gear, all the extra grip he's got on these tyres, and you can see how much more the car is alive on these tyres. It's just reacting in the way that he wants it to be. There is a Ferrari up the road there, I hope he gets out of his way. He's going to be braking just before the 100. That's also a Force India, his teammate of Le Mans. Short shifting up the gears very nicely, very good on the traction there. This corner's going to be fun on nice fresh ultras, yeah. Easily flat out through here. Oh, he's gone a bit wide there. Oh, he missed the apex a little bit. I think he'll get away with it though. Losing the rear end out of there, keeping it flat out. Choosing a tight line in here, 3rd gear to get it rotated back down to 4th, back up to 5th, and oh, there's a bit of sandbagging. So we're not going to know what the time was, but even with that amount of sandbagging, he's gone 2nd on 11.9, so who knows what that would have been if he carried on pushing. I think the general consensus for this race is to qualify on a harder compound of tyre. Because the ultras of course overheat and will just die instantly. Yeah, we see IE Pony, he's not on an outlap, he's just outbroke himself a little bit there. That's not the line you want to be taking through there. Enigma has chosen to be out on softs, that's interesting. Could be a clever strategy to start on softs while others are on mediums. Or equally, everyone else is just doing laps on mediums at the moment because there's only one set of softs. That's equally likely. Sorry for the minor break. There is another yellow flag in sector 3. Seems just to be for people entering the pits, from what I can tell. Had a bit of traffic there. Right, there we go. So now we can get back to the job in hand. So Enigma seems to be on a flying lap. He's definitely not, 'cause he's on 0. In fact, no one is on a flying lap at the moment. However, I've just noticed Skatey going top of the board on an 11.072. Interestingly, HZ is choosing to be on high fuel ERS deployment. That's an interesting choice. I haven't seen many people going low throughout the ERS in the middle sector here, but that could gain enough of an advantage, who knows. So going through this last sector, we'll have to see what the time is when he crosses the line. His only lap at the moment isn't that great on mediums, and I imagine he's only really got one stab of it on these softs, so we'll have to see what the time is as he comes across the line. It is a 12.305, that seems like quite a respectable lap time considering the tyres, so I'd imagine some people are going to go 6-7 tenths quicker than that. But it's still a respectable time, and I'm sure on his half he has time in that lap as well. AOR Enigma seems to be just cooling down the tyres at the moment, and well, we'll watch Martin G on his out lap. So unfortunately, it's just that lull in the session where everyone's either in the pits or just getting ready to set up a lap, or coming into the pits, either one. Nothing's really happening at the moment. However, it does seem like Enigma is getting ready to start a lap here. Taking it nice and slowly through the last few corners, getting ready to get a great launch out of this last corner, up into 6th. Seems like a fairly neat turn 1. He's kept it in 7th, kept it on the track. That's a good turn 1. Coming into down to turn 2, let's see how he does. Into 3rd, just misses the apex. Keeps it in 5th, keeps it on the track, that's very good. Opening the DRS just in time. Now down the straight, up into 8th. Does he spot the braking? Oh, there's a yellow flag and there's traffic ahead of him. He decided to back off of that lap. Didn't think it was worth it. As you can see, the traffic has got out of his way though, so I didn't really get in his way. Marion on his debut, currently on an 11.9, however I believe that lap was definitely set on ultras. So we have to see what he can do on this set of soft tyres. I think Enigma's going to probably have another stab at it because he backed out so early in that lap. I'm sure his tyres are still in fine condition. Let's ride on the board with the new boy though. See how he does on this lap. I just need to check a message. Oh. What's here, Lemon? As he is going through the last corner up into 5th. Got quite a decent launch onto the lap. Let's see how it goes. He's going to keep hitting 7th. Nope, he's chosen to shift down to 6th. That looks like it could have been invalidated, but he's carried on with it so far, so we'll stick on board with him. A little bit of a lock up into there. Martin G is out. I don't know what's happened to him. He's just set a 12-1 and retired. Okay, well we're going to go back on board with Marion. Another lag spike on my half. I'm going to fix that in just a second. It's been quite a neat lap. Nothing special though from Marion. Oh, it seems he's backing out of this one. Yeah, he's backed out. Sorry if he backed out a lot earlier and I didn't realise. Yeah, Lassie's not on the lap. IE Pony is though. He's one of the faster drivers. He will definitely be contending with the top in this race. Looking slightly earlier than some into that corner. But I'm sure he's going to get a better exit from that. Well, as is blindingly obvious. Down the back straight, DRS open, full throttle up to over 200 miles an hour. Should be hitting about 205 into the braking zone. Down to first to get the car rotated. Oh, he's got a bit of a slide there. He's outbroken himself again. Maybe he prefers that wider line though, gets him a better exit. Down here he comes. Down to second to get the car rotated up to 4th, up to 5th. Is he going to make this flat out? Teeny little lift and he's gone off the track there. He might have got his lap invalidated, we're not sure. Very close to the outside barrier there. Or if he didn't have his lap invalidated, it definitely is now. Up through the gears very nicely. Oh, and he's backed off right at the last second. He's going to have to have another go at this. Someone is off in sector 2. Not sure who. I think Marion might have made a little mistake there. You see Skatey. He's going for the pole position here. He's out on another set of ultras. This is going to be good to watch. Oh, he's had a bit of a lock up into there. That's really not what you want on your flying lap. He has got enough time to back off and give another go though if he feels the need to. Yep, he's backing off. Ian Bastion's just about to leave the pits. Right, on board with Marion, about to have another go at it. Another driver in Lassie there, choosing to run overtake on the straights because it's faster and take that sacrifice in the middle sector by running a lower ERS mode. That's a plausible strategy from the faster drivers. Choosing to use second there, get the car rotated. It looks like a very neat last sector so far. We'll have to see where this puts him on the grid. Decent last few corners, on the power as early as you can be. And across the line, it's going to be an improvement to an 11.3. That's very good, considering he's on soft tyres. Now for soft tyres runners, that's put him second, only 31 thousandths behind Le Mans. That's very good. Ian Bastion's on an out lap on ultras. Skatey's also going for another lap. We'll have to see what he can do. Is he going to get the braking right for this turn this time? Yes, he has. Using all of the track there. Slightly later on the powers than some of the rest. But he's still doing a very respectable job. We have to keep an eye on Ian through turn 1. How's he going to do? He's going to leave it in 7th. Skatey into the middle sector, using all the track, hitting that orange curb. That's going to delay you getting on the power. There is a yellow flag in sector 3, but that's just Carlos retiring. Nothing to be too worried about. Very neat through that corner. Le Mans also retired. Oh, he's had a bit of a lock up there. I wonder if I do wonder if him retiring has distracted him. We're going to have to go back on board with Ian now. Skatey's chance of getting pole might be over here, because I'd imagine Ian's going to be on for a pretty fast lap. Very, very neat. Playing it very risky with track limits there. He's going to go down to third, into second, get the car rotated, get on the power as early as possible. Down to fourth there. Oh, he's gone off. We'll have to see. I think his lap's going to be invalidated at the last step of it. No! He's got away with that and got pole by 4 tenths. Great job from me in there. Now we just have 2 drivers left. We've got JSR and Adidas tracksuit. Let's see where Adidas goes. Very neat last 2 corners. He has ran out of ERS before the line, and he goes 9th place on a 12.229. And through the last corners, does JSR improve? And it doesn't look like he did. Oh, he did. He improved to 8th place. My bad. Well, that's qualifying over. Have to get a quick rundown of the results. So you've got Ian Bastian on pole by exactly 4 tenths. Then Le Mans, the first of the soft runners, 2.5 tenths behind them. Assassin puts his car in 4th place. We missed that one. We're just behind Le Mans by 100th of a second. Then you've got Lassie, Collis, Marion, JSR, Marcin G, Adidas tracksuit, HZ, Hazard, AOR Enigma, Corny, IE Pony, and Tom on the last row there. Not a great qualifying session for Tom, however. Looking good for some other people like Ian. So yeah. Have to see what the race brings. Excuse me while I quickly alt-tab to set game priority to high. All this does will improve the quality of the stream for you guys. I believe formation lap should be on. While we just wait for everyone to load in. Yeah, this could be an interesting race. It is going to be all dry, which does make it slightly more boring than it could have been, but I still wouldn't complain. And apparently I have to do this through YouTube because I don't want it to be called Please Work anymore. But yes, so they're on the grid now for formation lap. Lights have gone green. So all Netherlands front row. Spatey and Ian. Le Mans in 3rd place. Assassin, who's in neutral apparently. Oh, he might actually be in neutral, to be fair. Yeah, he actually is in neutral. Okay, I thought that was a game glitch. My bad. It definitely is a game glitch. Ignore me. That's to see what we want lap data enabled. So let's check the tyres. Yep, same as quali. Seems like everyone stayed on the same tyre that they chose in quali. Interesting. This could be an interesting race. You've got the 2 very fast drivers at the front on ultras. However, you've got some very fast drivers behind them on the softer tyres. So there is definitely going to be overtaking at points in this race, with some differing strategies. It's just who's going to come up with the best. I'd imagine this could be a first league race win for Le Mans, and that would be an achievement for him to hold. However, in the past his tyre wear has not been the greatest, and he has tended to run out of fuel and get punctures. But anyway, they're all lining up on the grid now. Let's get a good camera view for the start of the race. As the last few cars come up to the back. and it's decided to change me. There's 1 red light, 2 left light, 3, 4, 5 red lights. They've held been, and away they go. They were held a long time there, but it seems Ian's got a decent start away from Skate, who's being challenged by Adidas tracksuit, but it seems they're going to be relatively clean through turn 1. Le Mans might lose a place to VSR Lassie. Apart from that, it's been very clean. Oh, that was deep by Assassin there on the brakes, just lightly touching the back of Skatey. All the guys on the softer tyres have got a very good start. You've got Le Mans managing to hold 4th place from Lassie and Marion. VSR Collis just keeping an eye on what these guys are doing. Seems he might even be going around the outside of Marion here. That's an amazing move by Collis there. Now you've got the VSR cars 4, 5 and 6. They might be looking up at taking Le Mans here, but maybe not. Collis looks like he's trying to make a move on Lass here. He set that up very well. He's now on the inside, but he's backed out. Sensible, sensible. Lass has lost a lot on this first lap, but he needs to regroup and get it going. Ian Bastian's also managed to pull a sizable gap of 8 tenths to Skatey. Skatey hasn't managed to pull away from Assassin really either. Le Mans has fallen back slightly from that pack as expected on the harder tyres. Everyone just settling in now. Again, Le Mans and Collis seem to be battling again. And that was very close, and it's definitely not Le Mans, that was Marion, my bad, sorry, done a crofty there. And he's got some understeer through there, of course on the softer, ultra soft tyres, so he's going to have a lot more grip at this point in the race. And he's going to be a massive nuisance to Collis' strategy. As you can see, he's not going to defend, this isn't his battle. Just going to let him run away. Oh, they've made a bit of contact there. That's really not ideal. We're going to see Martin G come through and nick the place of Collis there. Will they ever go at Marion? He's close enough. Oh, he's going to have a little look. Couldn't be late enough on the brakes though. Marion managed to hold it. Meanwhile, this is giving a nice gap for Lass, who's closed back up to them on this lap. Ian Bastian continuing to extend his gap. Marion in 6th place from Martin G from Collis. Thomas made up 5 positions at the start of this race. JSR has unfortunately had an awful start, as well as H Hazard. My ponies managed to stay the same. Yeah, been a very clean start, as expected. DRS of course enabled this lap, so for someone close like Lass, this could be the prime opportunity to get past. However, I believe Le Mans is going to have DRS here as well. As I'm right, he does. You've got Marion behind, who could have been very vulnerable, but seems to have held the position, as Martin G is having another look at Collis for the 2nd lap in a row. And we see Tom going for a move here on Adidas tracksuit. Is he going to make it? It's going to be round the outside. If he does, that would be a great move. Oh, he's holding it. He's now got the inside line for the next corner, and I think he's got that one done. A very nice move from Tom there, making his way up the grid 6 positions now. He's got his teammate ahead of Martin G. And around this time, these ultra soft tyres are really going to start losing their grip, and this is when the soft runners are going to start coming into their own. As you can see, Collis getting around that corner in good amount of speed. DRS now throughout pretty much the whole first sector. So that he is going to be right on the back of Marion, who's unfortunately fallen out of DRS from Lassie. Courtney's already got a multiple warnings penalty on lap 4 of the race. There is also, seems like Le Mans might be having a look on Assassin here. That's a great camera angle game. Is he going to have a look down the inside? I think he is, but he's been very safe on the brakes, as Assassin has outbroke himself and gone wide. Those tyres are definitely not as fresh as they used to be. He's going to hold it from the inside through here, and I don't see Assassin coming back on those dead tyres really, as expected. And there seems to be a battle going on, as Assassin has managed to make his position back up on Lassie and Collis there. That's a very good job from him. And Le Mans seems to be falling back quite a bit at the moment. He's going to be vulnerable in the next DRS zone if he's not careful. There seems to be a gap made back here, and it looks like Martin G might have a bit of wing damage. No, I don't think he does. But anyway, nonetheless, you've got Marion now on the back of this, and Tom also has lost the position to Adidas Tracksuit again. Who Adidas Tracksuit has lost it a bit through turn 1 there. He could be vulnerable into this next turn. Tom has been clever, decided to stay behind, wait for the DRS on the next straight as he's been hit by JSR. That was a very late move, and he seems to have already admitted that that was his fault, and he's now waiting up for Tom. Very sportsmanlike from him there. Silly mistake, as it seems there is Collis going for a move. Or was that? Yes. No, that's Martin G going for a move on Collis. No, I'm completely wrong. Collis going for a move on Assassin. Lassie seems to have got ahead of Assassin here, and his tyres are really going. As Collis is just driving it straight clean round the outside there. Very good move from him. Assassin is all over the road at the moment. He doesn't know where he's going, and these ultra softs have really gone off now. I wouldn't expect, yeah, I would expect to see them in the pits now. Skatey's decided to stay out another lap. I'm not sure if that was a completely smart idea. He's going to be overtaken by Le Mans here. That probably into turn 2. We'll have to see where Ian Bastian rejoins. He's still in the box. And we see Le Mans on the outside. That's very close, very risky move for the net race lead. And Le Mans now takes the race lead, but Skatey's going to have the DRS down this next straight. Meanwhile, Lassie and Collis are just sitting back and watching. And Skatey gets him back on the DRS now. Le Mans is going to have great traction and braking throughout this whole next sector, so he may be able to get back past if he just waits and plays it very patient, waiting for Skatey to make a mistake. Just being very patient, watching. However, meanwhile, he is definitely losing a lot of time to the cars behind because of this, so he does need to get past in a hurry. He doesn't want to be stuck behind them for too long. And he might be going for it around the outside here. That's going to be dangerous. He's got to be careful doing that. You don't want to do what Vettel did and end up in the gravel trap. Just needs to play it confident now. Time has passed well, but Skatey stays out for another lap. He's really going to be feeling those tyres. You see Lass following him into turn 1. And Skatey's completely off the track there, and he's picked himself up a penalty, and I'd imagine this will be an easy pass for Lassie here. Lassie, I'm sure, will be making at the end of this straight, as well as his teammate Collis, who has closed up a second in that last lap throughout all of that battling. That's really played into his hands. And I'd imagine it's going to be a relatively straightforward move, but it might not be. They're going to be 3 wide. Skatey's coming back again with the DRS on the second straight, but he seems to have outbroke himself there and let 2 cars through. He might even lose the 3rd position here into the next corner. We'll have to see. Collis is having a look, but decides better of it. He knows he's got the better grip, and Skatey's probably going to be in by the end of this lap. Although he might be having a look into this next turn. He has so much more grip, he can just make moves like this, but he's backing out intelligently, not here to cause a crash. Just leaving his nose on the inside to make Skatey aware that he is there. But I would imagine he is going to peel off into the pits this lap. He's now lost track position. And he hasn't. He's stayed out for another lap. Those tyres are going to explode if he's not careful. I'd imagine he's staying out to try and stretch to softs or mediums. You see Martin G picking up a penalty behind, and Collis is going to be down the inside. I'd imagine he hasn't really learnt off what was happening for Le Mans. Skatey might be able to pick up the DRS here if he's got a good enough exit and just cruise straight back past Collis into the braking zone. And Martin G's also really closing up on this battle. Collis has intelligently gone defensive. Skatey won't be able to make that on his dead tyres. Yeah, there's not going to be any cutback on those. Very cleverly defended. So that puts Collis into P3. There is also a very tight battle for the lead between Lassie and Le Mans. See Martin G behind. He's now closed up on Skatey, and I'm sure Skatey will be Martin G's next victim in this race. Ian seems to be making a bit of progress through the field again. He's now on the back of H3rd. Going back to the battle with Martin G. He's really being held up by Skatey. You can see Corny, Adidas Tracksuit and IE Pony all catching up to him now. Skatey is really parking the bus and he wants to come in the pits, and Martin G was on his inside. He's going to lose a lot of time from that. That's going to leave him very vulnerable to the car behind. As we see everyone moving up the positions. Ian Bastion, he's looking on the inside of turn 1. This could go very badly, but they've made it work. H are choosing to drive off the track there to give Martin G space intelligently. As we see Le Mans and Lassie, he's not going to be close enough for a move this lap, I wouldn't imagine. No. He has slightly outbroke himself, but oh, he's managed to bring that in very nicely. Very well controlled. We see Martin G making a move on Corny there. Very nice. That's also left. That could leave him vulnerable as we see cars behind. Oh, we see Marion going for a move up the inside of Assassin there. Very nice from him. Late but decisive. You've got Skatey out on mediums. He will be the only car on track at the moment, apart from my pony, to be on mediums. Just see this lap, Lassie is slightly closer than he was last lap to Le Mans, but I don't know if this is going to be close enough. Le Mans' car seems to be very slippery in a straight line. See Collish just out of DRS of this battle. However, Corny is in the DRS of Martin G ahead, and Adidas Tracksuit is in their DRS, and IE Pony is just close enough to be within DRS of this battle. You see down this straight, I wouldn't expect there's going to be a move made. We'll have to see. No, he's too far back to make anything from there, I'd imagine. Let's go down the field. However, Corny is close enough for a move. I think he is going to go for one down the inside of Martin G. Very close. He might be able to get better traction here. Nick back into the slipstream and have a look into the next corner. It's going to be tight if he does go for it, and he's decided to stay back intelligently. Meanwhile, this is just helping IE Pony catch back up. Ian Bastion coming through the field. He's now back into 9th place. He's going to be looking at closing down on Enigma and getting some good lap times in here to make his strategy work. His strategy of a 2-stop work, so he can create a good gap to the leaders, or the current leaders. And maybe can make this up in his last stint. See, same gap again. Very static gaps between the leaders at the moment, closely matched. It's going to come down to a mistake or tyre wear of who takes the position here, especially with Le Mans' car being so slippery in a straight line. See Corny behind them in 4th place. Martin G is within 5 tenths, but I don't think he's close enough. However, IE Pony is, and he is on the outside coming into the hairpin here. I think this is going to be a move very comfortably. Just calm on the brakes, brings it into the turn nicely, and he exits out the other side in good time. He's now going to be sizing up his next victim, I'd imagine, of Martin G, so he can get out of this pack and start looking at a podium fight. You see Lassie again has closed up throughout the middle sector, as expected. And then Le Mans will have a very slippery car on the straight line. IE Pony picks up a penalty. That might really affect his race because he's in a very tight battle at the moment for 4th place. See Lassie losing quite a bit of time in that last sector there. That's not what he would have wanted. We'll have to see if he can bring some of it back. He's also bringing his teammate into contention for that 2nd place now. He's just about within DRS, and I don't have telemetry enabled. We're going to have to see. There's no DRS for any of the leaders here. Martin G is within 6 tenths of Corny. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move from there, unfortunately, though. Tom might be close enough to make a move on H3rd here, though. And indeed, H3rd has got a very bad exit out of there. And neither of them have made a pit stop yet, so he may be struggling with adapting from no assist on tyre wear, who knows. Relatively simple move for Tom there down the inside. A little bit of a lock up that makes the apex. Very nice move. textbook. As we see, Ian has also just got ahead of Enigma in good time. That's good for him in his battle for the race win on a different strategy. As you see, it's all very static up front at the moment, not really much to talk about. Enigma has managed though to keep up with Ian through this middle sector, so he could prove a pain for Ian down these next few straights and really get in the way of his race. Ian having a fairly dodgy exit there, but better than what Enigma had, and he's at least going to be able to escape down this straight, but Enigma seems to have a very fast car in the straight line. But Ian's keeping his head, not making mistakes. You see a bit of lag there. That's fairly close to the race lead as well, into the hairpin. That's the closest it's been in quite a while. We also see Martin G quite close, and Enigma's too far back to be making a move. Martin G is very close there to making a move, but he's probably not going to be making one anytime soon. However, this battle for the lead is very close now. Nancy must have put in a good lap, and he is going to be in the dirty air. So it will slightly cost him a bit of time. As you see, he's even going down to 5th to try and get the car rotated in that dirty air. You see the car's just washing out wide, and it is not fun to drive in dirty air, but this is the closest he's been in a very long time. Look at that, full temps. And Le Mans pulls into the pits. He's had enough of these tyres. He's coming in for his mediums now. Now Le Mans does famously have quite bad tyre wear, and I wonder if he has fallen victim of that here. As we see another car in as well, of the other halves of Collis has also decided to pit into the pits. So now Collis may be trying to undercut his teammate of Lassie there. That could be intelligent from him. See, now it's just about running away as much as you can. See, Ian Bastian is of course first of the pit stoppers at the moment, and he has jumped Le Mans by about 7 seconds almost. That could really be working well in his favour. Also, if Le Mans may have to make an overtake on Enigma, but I don't think that's really going to be happening in his race. As we see, yeah, Le Mans has lost almost 6 seconds from the undercut of Ian there. However, he is on the 2-stop obviously, and he is now coming up behind Adidas tracksuit, and it's going to cost him a little bit of time. He's not far enough back yet, but if Adidas keeps making mistakes like that, it may get very close in a minute. See, Pony's very close on to excuse me, sorry, the back of Ian here. As we see, everyone at the front pulls into the pits now, apart from Ian Bastian, who is going to take the lead, and the other Williams, Pony, who's on mediums, is going to leave it out for a bit longer and go for a sprint on the softs at the end. So Ian is now in the lead from Lassie. I dare to say that's going to be very close into this next corner. They're going to be side by side, but Le Mans just got it. However, Lassie is going to be on colder tyres, very cold mediums I'd imagine actually, yeah. However, he is going to have the DRS just to slightly negate what Le Mans would have lost on the cold tyres. He will lose a little bit less now because of this DRS he's got on him. So that could play into his hands in the long term. See, cold tyres really painful into there. See, Collis just making a move on Tom. Tom hasn't pitted yet, he's left it out slightly longer. You see Le Mans about 5.8 to 6 seconds behind Ian at the moment. That gap probably isn't going to close, and less on his cold tyres has really fallen back from Le Mans on this lap. The undercut really has proved worthy for Le Mans, but maybe on his worst tyre wear that could affect him towards the end of the race quite badly. As you see Adidas tracksuit getting a penalty there. VSR Collis actually coming across the line with the fastest lap there, and he may be challenged. Collis may be challenging here Lassie for a position, and the Haas teammates and also the team teammates have got to work intelligently here with each other. They don't want to be costing each other the time when they are going to be fighting for the race win. Meanwhile, Le Mans is closing the gap very slightly on Ian at the moment. Ian's tyres will be relatively second hand now, I'd imagine. He has done 10 laps on those softs, so yeah, they are going to be very second hand. He'll be looking at pitting in only a couple of laps to get off those. As I see a yellow flag, but I think that's just this game being broken. The A Pony is obviously on 15 lap old mediums. He is currently in the lead though, but I'm sure that won't be. In short, yeah, Le Mans is definitely still in the net lead though. Lassie on 1 lap older tyres. However, he is getting a lot of pressure from Collis. Lassie is really struggling to get the car working on these tyres at the moment. And I think we could be seeing a move from his team teammate and car teammate Collis here. Yep, he's going to stick it in a slipstream. He's got a decent enough exit to be able to be close enough. He's 3 tenths, 4 tenths back. Is there going to be a defensive move from his teammate here? Yes, there is. They're not going to make it easy for each other. Don't lose too much time doing this though, boys, because you might not be able to catch Le Mans up if you battle for too long. As you see, Collis has just driven right round the outside there. That was a great move from him. Driving right around the outside of his teammate, and now he's going to have his eyes set on catching Le Mans. And hopefully for Lassie he can just hold on to this battle and come back through at the end of the race with his slightly fresher tyres. As you see, Corny is quite a bit back from this, but he has got Marion on 11 lap olds option, well, not options, but soft tyres challenging him. This could be interesting. As you see, Skatey, who was leading at the start of the race, only in 8th place now. That's not how he wanted his race to go, and he's got Martin G challenging him for 8th position. That's really not gone well for Skatey today. As we switch to back up front, and Collis has immediately pulled a gap from Lass and is very much closing up on Le Mans at some rate of not at the moment. He's managed to get himself within DRS of 1 lap. We could very soon be seeing a fight for the lead here. You see how much more confident he is on the brakes than Le Mans there. And he seems to just about be dragging his teammate along, which is exactly what he'll want. If he can get a 1-2 for his team, then that would be great. A Pony with another penalty, our current leader. Obviously on a different strategy though. As you see, VSR Collis getting within dangerous territory of Le Mans there. Closing up very quickly. He's going to be 8 tenths back, and he's just put in the fastest lap of the race. That's very good for him. And he's only 6 tenths back coming onto the second straight. If he gets a good exit, he could be looking at this with Le Mans, who also got a bad exit. He might actually be able to look at a move if he comes from quite far back. He has chosen there not to run it in overtake though, being clever with his urge usage. As you see, Lassie is managing to keep up with this battle, which is just what he would have wanted. And this is the closest these three have been pretty much since the start of the race. See, Collis is really challenging Le Mans here, even through the twisty turny stuff in the dirty air. He is not leaving him alone. He is really challenging for position here. Meanwhile, you've got Skatey in a battle with Martin G. Martin G has got past in the last couple of laps. There's a battle of 4 cars there for 7th place. As you see, iPony has come into the pits this lap, so that puts the net leader up into 2nd place on track, sorry. As you see, Carlos going slightly wide there, maybe not getting the car rotated just how he wants, but he's 5 tenths back. He is close enough for a move here. He is incredibly close. There could definitely be a move into the next corner. He's got a slightly worse exit than he would have liked. And I think he thinks he's got a chance here. He's put it in overtake fuel mixture. He's now turned it off and he's holding back on this occasion. Maybe trying to force a mistake into Le Mans. Just holding back, waiting for the right opportunity to make a move. And there's still 14 laps left in this race. So going through the last corner, he is a bit back, he is 6 tenths back, but we know he is famously good as Ian comes into pits for his pit stop in this race. But we know Collis is famously good through this first sector, and yes, of course, he's only 4 tenths back now. And he seems to have got a decent exit. Le Mans has definitely got the better exit again through there. And again, I don't think he's going to be quite close enough to be looking at a move into the hairpin. He's going to be coming from far back if he does have a go for one. And yeah, just trying to force that little mistake out of Le Mans. As you see Marion putting in the fastest lap on a fresh set of soft tyres. Seems they would have gone 3 wide back there just a second ago. Anyway, coming up to the leading battle, as Ian has managed to rejoin the pits and rejoin from the pits in 6th, and now he's ahead of Martin G. That's exactly what he wants for his strategy. He is now only 13 seconds off the leaders, and if they start battling, he could be in prime position here to take a good position, maybe even a podium at the end of this race, if they battle hard enough and he has the pace. So you see Collis again, about 6 to 7 tenths back out of that last corner. He's going to be very good through the turn 1. However, he definitely didn't want to have a wheel dip in the gravel there. That might affect him through this corner slightly. And it has. He hasn't been able to close up as much as I'm sure he would have liked to. Well, Lass is just about being carried along on this train, and Corney's also catching up. He's caught up 1.2 seconds. Sorry, I take that back. He hasn't closed that much. And Collis again really being able to stick it onto the back end through this middle sector, but there's nothing you can do through here. You can't get past through here really. Without a mistake or a tyre driver ahead on very old tyres, you've really got to be waiting for these straights. You see there seems to be a bit of a lag there, and he's lost quite a bit of time, two or so tenths from them on there. He may have had a lag spike, which should be really unfortunate in such a tight battle for the lead. As you see, he has managed though to bring it back. He's now within 4 tenths again, and visibly he's a lot closer than he has been before, and this could actually be an overtake for the lead here. I'd imagine Le Mans just isn't going to let him go. However, Le Mans has made the decision to stick to the outside, but Collis has decided not to go for the move there. He didn't think the opportunity was clear enough. And meanwhile, this is just helping everyone else catch up. As you see, Corney's having a battle with iPony, who is on his freshest soft tyres, is really going to be trying to close down on this lead battle now. See, nothing you can do through this section of the track. Skatey is still in a battle with Adidas tracksuit. That has been a lengthy battle. Skatey on the older tyres there. Not really much you can do. As we see Collis, that's the closest he's been coming out of the last corner. If he can nail this first sector, then he might be in with a good chance here of making another move for the... having another good chance of making a move for the lead. You see he's very good on the brakes into there. Le Mans seems to be handling the pressure of leading the race quite well there at the moment. As you see, Collis just got a slightly worse exit in that dirty air there. However, he has got the slipstream. He might be able to look at a move, but I don't think he's going to be able to make one from that far back, and no, he's not. See iPony closing up. He's only got 7 seconds to close up. That is definitely doable. Ian has got another 3 to go until he's battling Corny, or side by side at least. As you see, this is very close through the middle sector for these two cars. He might be thinking of setting up an overtake. Drivers will plan it from a couple of laps behind. They will pick a lap and they will go, right, this lap I'm gonna really stick it through the middle sector and really go for it. And I have to say, I think this is going to be Collis's best chance of the race so far. He's gone a bit wide there, but he's been able to make up with it through a wider line through the last corner. And this is going to be a great... I'd hope he has a very good first sector here. He's only 4 or so attempts back. He's going to be very good on the brakes into here. Dirty air is going to affect him slightly more than it usually does, and he's accounted for that. He's used his second gear, as you'd imagine. Oh, he's got a bit of opposite lock through there. And he's got a slightly worse exit, and I don't think the move is going to quite be on anymore because of that poor traction that he got in the dirty air there. And yeah, he's had to stick behind again. Le Mans is dealing very well with this pressure. See, Pony's closed up another second on that lap. This is exactly what he needs to be doing if he wants to have a shot at getting the podium or even the win. There's still 9 laps left in this race. If he carries on catching at this pace, he will have 3 laps or more to try and make a move. If these guys manage to actually get alongside with each other, he will catch up a lot quicker than he currently is. See, Collis is not quite as close through the middle sector this time as he was last time, but he's still managing to keep it close enough to, if Le Mans makes a mistake, he'll have a very good chance at making a move. We see Ian getting a 3-second time penalty there. That's really not ideal for his race. You see about 4 tenths back through turn 1. Bit of a slide through turn 1. I'd imagine his tyres following are going to be getting a bit hot as well. He's accounted for the dirty air again. I still don't think he's got a good enough exit. He's got a better exit than he did last time though, so he might have half a shot here. The slipstream, he is very low on ERS, and I wonder if that is slightly holding him back from being able to make this move. He's having a look again but can't make it. The Modern really holding up to this pressure well, and he needs to save his ERS as much as possible so he can make a move on that straight. I wouldn't be using it as much as he is through the middle sector if I was him. He really needs to save that ERS and make sure he can use it throughout the whole straight and get a good exit out of that hairpin to pull away. And we can see he's doing that. He's left it on 0 throughout the whole middle sector, and he seems to be... We can't see what fuel mix he's using, but I can see from the steering wheel changes he has definitely been making changes to his fuel mixture, maybe to account for the fact that he's saving his ERS. As you see, he's put it onto hot lap on this main straight. Now he's put it onto overtake down to high, down to medium. It's a very intelligent and strategical way of using ERS. And you see he's actually very close to this corner, only 3 tenths, but all that means is the dirty air is going to affect him slightly more, as you saw under the brakes there. Oh, he's got a very good exit, and I can't help but say this is his best chance for the move, and if he doesn't make it here, then, well, I don't know. And he's incredibly close, and we've got a great camera angle. He's down the inside of Le Mans. He's holding it down the inside. They're really it's gonna be argy-bargy here. He's got a slight slide on the exit, and he hasn't been able to make the move. Le Mans been able to hold that under traction just about. Meanwhile, this is really bringing Pony into the equation. Only 4.9 seconds back. He's going to be playing a part in the end of this. As you see, he's just, very much keeping his car there. He's only a tenth behind throughout this middle sector. He is close. Now, I can't help but think maybe Le Mans tyres are starting to slightly go off as well at the same time. They're a lap older, and his tyre wear has been famously bad. You see, he's only 4 tenths back coming across the line. That's 3 tenths back. This is his indefinite second best chance of the race. He might even be looking for a move into turn 2 here. He's on the inside. He's decided to put his nose there, but not go ahead. Very well planned from him, because he's now slowed Le Mans down on the exit, and he's still got the DRS. That was extremely intelligent from him if it was on purpose. And now he's got the ease of just holding it around the outside, but he is very low on ERS, and it seems he got a bit of a lag spike, but he's still decided to send it. If he gets good traction here, it's going to be battling into the next corner. He's got just enough ERS maybe to make it through. Le Mans is going to have the inside for this next corner. He might... Oh, he's going right round the outside for the race lead. And you know what? I think he's done it. He's gone right round the outside of Le Mans there for the race lead. That was an amazing move from Collis there. However, we can't forget that Le Mans is still on the back of him, and Le Mans has got a considerable amount more ERS than Collis does. Collis has left himself in a situation here where he can't defend from Le Mans, so they're going to continue battling, and Lassie is now very much in the equation. He seems to be struggling a bit through this last sector though. So yeah, and Le Mans is just not using his ERS at the moment. He's going to save it, I would imagine. He's just using the slip, the suck and the DRS to be able to close up just enough. He's down into second gear. Might be able to get a good enough traction here. He's 2 tenths back, so you can safely say he's close enough to make a move here. Collis is going to have to play his cards very effectively because he's pretty much out of ERS now. He is going to be a sitting duck if Le Mans could be late on the brakes, but he's managed to park his car perfectly just in the right place of the track. He's got to be careful here not to lose a position to the car behind as well. As IE Pony's really in this now, 3.3 seconds back, and he's got 5 laps till the end of the race. We see Le Mans has got a lot more ERS, and can't help but say before Collis runs away with the pace he's got, he needs to start using that to halt him up a bit and get close enough. He is in a very luxury position at the moment, having more ERS, and he's made a mistake there. That's really not going to help his chances, and now he's very much under pressure from Lassie. And as you can see, he's now having to use up all of his ERS to close up that gap that he's just lost and make sure the car behind stays behind. That wasn't very good for him. Really not good for his race. But he's closing back up just enough, and he's going to get a pretty good suck down this straight to not have to pass them, but get really close to him. As you see, he's closing up a lot because of course Collis has little to no ERS, and it seems there's been a little bit of a shove there from Lassie. You can see his car getting pushed out of the way there. That's very unsportsmanlike. Maybe he turned in on him, I'm not sure. We didn't have a good enough camera angles. Lassie's having a look down the inside, but it's not enough to scare Le Mans out of the way. As IE Pony's only 6 seconds back, and then Ian Bastian seems to have been caught behind Corny, unfortunately for him, just enough to probably be out of the chance of winning this race now. He might have to settle for that 5th place. Of course, he has got a penalty. As you see, this three-way battle for the lead. It's all very close, 4 tenths and 5 tenths, and there's not really anything to give or shove anywhere here. Collis has managed to get a decent amount of ERS back, but Le Mans just has so much more. He's got 50% still, and he's not using all of it. He's very much playing this strategically. Of course, drivers don't know how much ERS each other have, so he's not going to know that Collis has literally no ERS, but he might be able to tell coming towards ends of straights like this. Look how much time he is losing as he thinks about it, but thinks better of it. He knows what he's got coming, and he knows if Collis falls behind. Collis seems to be low on fuel as well as ERS is. He's playing this race on the limit. That is fair to say. As you see, Collis can't use any of the extra horsepower that he has, whereas Le Mans is using quite a bit of it. And we also know his car is relatively skinny in a straight line as well. So he could be in a good position. He might just be setting himself up for one of the last few laps to make a move. And he seems to have got a decent enough run, got a good enough exit through there to be close enough. And he's just saving his ERS. He's got the slipstream to keep him close, and he's going to be very close because of course Collis, again, no ERS, cannot defend. And Le Mans very, very cleverly just showing his nose to slow Collis down a little bit, but also importantly keeping his DRS. And I can't help but feel this is going to be a move here for Le Mans. He's got to hug the inside as Collis to defend that, and he's done exactly that. Le Mans going to hold it around the outside, and that's very close. I can't tell if there's been contact there. He has held it around the outside. There's going to be side by side through these next few corners. And he's going to be able to keep his nose there on, well, you could say behalf of the ERS. And there's been a bit of contact there. That's not what you want to happen. But he is holding it around the outside. And you can see they're going 2 by 2 in the background as IE Pony has now managed to get himself up into 3rd place. Excuse me. That's a very good move from him. You see Collis and Le Mans are still going at it for the race lead. And as I say that, unfortunately we've missed that. Le Mans has managed to keep the race lead by holding it around the outside. That's great from him. And Collis hopefully will be able to keep it close enough just by sitting in the slipstream, but we know Le Mans will have enough ERS to defend this. As you see, he's slightly locked the rears there and lost the rear end, and that's going to give Collis the prime opportunity to make another overtake here. He's going to have the DRS, he's not going to have the ERS though. As we see IE Pony, he might be looking to make this 3 wide for the lead here. Oh, and he is, he's down the inside of both cars. That's going to be really close, and he's not going to take the lead here, is he? Oh, it's very tight. He's dropped back in. He's watching these two go at it again. It's like deja vu of last lap. And down the inside goes Le Mans. That was incredibly close. And Collis has managed to keep the position there. He's going to be very vulnerable to IE Pony behind, though. IE Pony has kept his station, though. And it's all going to be happening on this last lap here. Oh, and IE Pony goes for a late move there on Le Mans. There's a bit of contact, and they're costing each other time, and Collis might just be running away with this now. Despite its lack of VRS, Le Mans is going to have to do something special to get it up from here. You see, IE Pony is also watching behind, and I think he's just thinking of getting as high up as he can. He isn't thinking of the race win anymore, and he's had a great run through turn 1 there on his soft tyres. And he's going to go for a move into turn 2. There's a bit of argy-bargy there. Oh, Collis has definitely ran away with this now. With IE Pony now in 2nd place, and he seems to just be, luckily for him, driving away from Le Mans. Hopefully we don't see any rash moves here. We haven't. As IE Pony goes down the inside, and we see actually Collis has lost a lot of time at the end of that straight. IE Pony went for a very late move last lap. And he hasn't got much ERS to use, but he's got more than Collis ahead. As we see a yellow flag in sector 3, but I don't care about that at the moment. This battle for the lead is incredibly close. I can't but help but feel this is going to come down to penalties. I haven't been keeping a close enough eye to know who is going to win out of this battle. And penalties are probably going to play into this extremely closely. As we see, I would imagine through this last sector, most of them are going to pretty much hold station now, as they have done. And we're going to see VSR Collis come across the line and win the race, and he has won it. Very good job from Collis. We see Ian Bastian just coming down the road for 5th place, then Corney close behind. Martin G in 7th place. Then you see teammate Tom. He's had a decent race to bring it back into 8th place. Adidas Tracksuit beats Skatey as well. There's some very much argy-bargy, and I'd like to say that was some lag there going on between those two. Assassin coming round 12th place. We've got Marion. We've got 12th, or no, 11th for Assassin on penalties. And you've got Marion on his debut in F3 coming along in 13th place. Going for fastest lap and getting it there. And you got JSR coming across the line, 14th place, and H3rd in his 3rd race in F3. Unfortunately for him, coming home in last place. That was a good race. You haven't seen action like that in F3 for a while. So let's have a look at the results. So none of the top 3 got a penalty. Very good boys for them. As you see, the top 3, and you've got 4th IE Pony, 5th Ian Baston, 6th Corny, 7th Tom, 8th Martin G, 9th Enigma, 10th Skatey, 11th Assassin, 12th Tracks, Adidas Tracksuit, 13th Marion, 14th H3rd, and JSR and 15th on penalties. So yeah, thank you for watching the stream, and goodbye.